Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sitting down with you to share my goals for the entire year, as well as my goals for the month of January. If you've been around, you've seen that I was doing monthly goal videos for a little over a year, and something in me just needed a break from sharing goal-related content as far as like specific monthly things. If you back it up, a while, you'll remember that I was kind of going through a little bit of some health stuff where I just needed to really address my resting and the amount that I was requiring of myself to produce. And so part of how I was going to allow myself more grace was by not producing goal-related content as far as like monthly goal videos. Because when you are wired like I am, if you say you're going to do something, you will go to the ends of the earth, to the death of self, truly to complete it. So I am excited to share with you guys that I am bringing the goals videos back. Those are the videos that I heard the most from you guys when I asked for feedback in my wrap and chat videos that you guys wanted me to bring back. It was said over and over, and I've been asked throughout the year, hey, where are your goals videos? So I'm feeling like I've got a better handle on things as far as like resting and not pushing myself to the absolute maximum constantly. And so I'm excited to share with you that I'm going to be bringing back the goals videos. So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. And I want to thank Skillshare for partnering with me on today's video. They are an incredible resource for you guys if you are looking to better yourself in the new year in some way of learning a new skill, whether it's tapping into creativity that you've shelved for a while as a mom, learning how to be more productive, learning tips and tricks to be more successful in your online business, whether that's an Etsy shop, whether that's content creation like myself, or in your homeschools. Skillshare has something for everyone. You guys know that my older kids got iPads to be able to utilize the app Procreate for their art. My children are incredible artists, and I can take zero credit for it. But they really are wanting to take it up a notch and learn how to animate things. Now, the thing that I love about Skillshare is that their content is ad-free. So when my kids are on there, it is very informational, it is very concise, it's very factual, and all of the classes are taught by professionals in the industry. So I wanted to share with you guys a really good class that my son took called Animating in Procreate by Danny Fisher Shin. Now, I do want to throw out a little bit of a disclaimer that this class is definitely for like older kids, teenagers, young adults, so keep that in mind. But it was really, really good for him to learn the basics of animation on Procreate, because if you've ever played around with that app, you know that if you get on there and you try to draw something, it does not work the way that your pencil does on paper. And naturally, my kids, being really great artists, they got their iPads and we got their Procreate, and then they tried to go and create something, and they felt like toddlers again. So I said, don't worry, we have classes on Skillshare that you can watch that will show you how to do this. And once he watched, he's still learning and practicing, but at least he had the foundational knowledge. She did a really good job of going through like the walk cycles, sketching frames, and how to piece them all together. So if your kids are at all interested in anything art related, there's art for younger kids, and then there's specialized stuff like using Procreate to its maximum capability, all available on Skillshare. So I will have a link down below for you guys where the first 1,000 of you can try Skillshare for free, and you can check it out for yourselves, for your children, for homeschool, for art, for anything that you want. You can find professionals teaching amazing classes on Skillshare. That link will be down below. But now let's jump into my goals and kind of what I'm thinking for this new year that we have just been blessed with. All right, so if you've been around my channel for a while, you know my philosophy when it comes to goals and, New Year's resolutions. I'm not a New Year's resolution setting type of girl, but I am an intentional living type of girl. I like to live with purpose and intention behind everything that I do. I do not like to waste time. I feel like time is the most precious gift, and it's something in our lives that we never get back once it's gone. So, the weight of time really, when it hits you and how fleeting time is, it really can be transformational in how you utilize your time and what you spend your time doing. So my philosophy surrounding goal setting is practical and a plan of execution behind each of them. And that's kind of what I focus on monthly are those realistic executions of the bigger picture that I am trying to cultivate in my life each year. I have always used some framework when it comes to thinking about goals and areas of focus in life, because otherwise it's just too broad. It's just too broad, and when things are too broad, there's no plan of execution to be made because you're just kind of out here floating in outer space. So I break it down for personal goals, relational goals, spiritual goals, and homeschooling / mothering goals. Those are kind of like marriage falls under relational. So those are kind of the areas that I look at. Personal could be anything from my health and fitness to my resting to the amount of books that I'm reading. Just those kinds of categories help me break down the bigger picture, like a whole entire year ahead of us, which none of us know what is going to occur in 2023, which is always slightly like, eee! And then I just have to remember who is in control of all, and then I breathe deeper. But yes, that's kind of my philosophy in a very short nutshell, just to give any of you guys who might be new to my channel a little bit of an idea of kind of where my head's at when it comes to goal setting, intentional living, purposeful living, all those things. Those are things that I am constantly thinking about. Those are things that I am constantly focused on. And I feel that being that way allows me to feel at the end of the day like I've given everything my best attempt, right? I don't get everything perfect, but when you're intentional, there's purpose. So there's a lot less wasting, which is what I'm after. So, of course, I have my planner because without writing it down, it's gone in the next instant. And the planner that I use has these monthly pages that you can see, January 2023. I don't know if it's meant for goal usage, but that's how I've used it for the last, 5, 6, 7 years. So I have 2023 down here, and I just wrote down, I took about an hour to pray over this, and I just wrote down things that were coming to my mind and heart. I allow myself permission to add things onto this, but this is where I'm at for now as far as goals for the whole year. So in 2023, I want to live in the now, live in the present. There's a whole video right there. How do we live in the present? How do we live in the now? Well, I have some ideas and some thoughts on that, but I'm not going to get into each of these of my goals in depth here because this video would become an hour long, but that is one of my goals for 2023. Another goal that I have for 2023 is to continue learning new things. Last year, I really dove into the sourdough world, and that is something that is so far outside of, number one, my skill set. I'm a great cook, not the best baker. It's not something I saw as a child model to me. It's not even really something I thought I would enjoy doing. I also hate tedious tasks that take a very long time. I am go, go, go. Come on, let's go. That's just how I'm wired, and I love fast-paced things, like quick results, big benefit, like, so doing sourdough has helped me in a lot of ways, and that's why I felt the Lord prompting me to try it, and I'm so grateful that I did. It's been a learning curve, one my family has greatly enjoyed, but that's one of the things I learned in 2022, and I want to carry that same excitement that I had once I was like, look, guys, into 2023 with something new. I'm not sure exactly what that is yet, but we will find out. But I am just open to learning new things, and I'll see where the Lord guides me in that area. The next goal that I have is kind of funny, the way that I wrote it down, but I'm honest and transparent with you guys, so I'm just going to read what I wrote. I'm not going to shine it up pretty and restate it for you. I am not setting a numbers goal for my work life this year. Now, I've never really done that. I've never said in January I would like to be here by the next year, because that's not what this is about for me. However, if you know anything about the online space and content creation and social media, in order to, earn a living on here, you do have to be producing certain views, certain numbers, certain standards, for companies to want to work with you, which is where the majority of the income comes from, in this line of work. So I've never, ever set goals for, like I said, by this month, I want to have this many subscribers or followers, and I'm going to do whatever it takes, make a reel a day to get into the algorithm. Like, I just don't play those games. But naturally, right, I do want to see growth in what I'm doing. And I just always firmly believe that the Lord is going to bring the people that He wants to have come into my space to me. And my responsibility is to just continue to show up, modeling consistency, reliability, dependability, and just authenticity. And so that has always been my philosophy. So I'm really focused again on not falling into the mindset of like, why is mine not doing X, Y, or Z? Or why is this so appealing? How can I, because naturally when you are putting a lot of time and effort into something, you want to be doing it well. And I want to do it to the best that I can. And so it can be frustrating when you're doing everything that you're supposed to, everything you feel the Lord asking you to, and then not necessarily seeing the outcomes. And I'm not even just talking about like subscriber count. This is a very broad generalization again, so don't hear me wrong, but it can be frustrating. So I need to keep that mindset again, no number goals for myself. And we're just going to see what happens this year. I've told you guys many times over that I hold my job on social media with a completely open-handed grip, because I just know one day it will be time for me to lay it down, and I want to be able to do that. And so, that is remaining like this is all a part of that goal. I want to obviously soak up my kids in 2023, which ties into the first thing that I said, which is living in the now and in the present. One of my most predominant struggles in motherhood right now is feeling, I described it to my husband and moms of older kids. I know you'll understand the analogy, but I described it as when you're a mom and your kids are little, babies, toddlers, you start with like both hands on the monkey bars, and you're holding on to the monkey bars with both hands. You feel like you've got a really good grip, and you feel like you could hang out there for a while. And then as your kids get older, it's like each year not even each year, but each season, you know, a few fingers get pried off the monkey bars like this. And then suddenly you're hanging on with one arm and your shoulder starts burning. And then, you know, you're getting really tired of holding on and it's really hard to hold on. And so you have to let go again because it's just getting so hard. And you don't want to let go because you're going to fall. But every year it's like it forces your fingers. So if you're a mom of older kids, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with that. So for me, that's very difficult. I know some moms move into different seasons of motherhood with a lot of grace and excitement, and I want to be you, but I really, really struggle in this area, and I've been, oh, that was the diffuser. I thought that was the camera. I've been very honest and open about it. So I'm down to a few fingers on the monkey bars, and it's just hard. So in order to soak up my kids, I have to live in the now, because the thoughts of the future really rob me of my sleep sometimes, even at night. So I have to keep that at bay. And that's just me being very vulnerable and sharing a struggle that I personally am going through. And I know I will continue to be in this place for the next, 5, 6, 7 years. But I'll be relying on the Lord's grace to meet me at each big milestone, but it's just difficult. So I want to soak up my kids. Another goal I have for 2023 is adventuring, continuing adventuring. It truly is incredible to get out into the United States alone and see the beauty, the people, the places, the national parks, the national monuments. So adventuring, whether near my house or away from my house, I want to continue to travel and have those experiences, both, in our travel trailer and also a few, flights and driving. We try to do it all. It's not just big extravagant vacations over here. I'm really excited about our RV travels this summer. We already started booking those. People always ask me, how do you plan so many things? You have to start now for the summer. It's very hard to get spots at the more popular places. So anyways, adventuring, whether that's a day trip or a 2-week road trip, I just love new experiences with my family. It's a huge part of our homeschool. I need to continue to learn how to rest in 2023. That's all encompassing. That's resting in doing things that I enjoy doing and not feeling like doing things I enjoy is a waste of time. I could be doing X, Y, or Z. That's allowing myself some days a little more grace when the to-do list is way too long and my standards of myself are completely unattainable. It's varieties of ways, but focusing on rest is something I'm always going to have to be constantly aware of because I do not veer that way. And obviously I have continuing with my fitness and nutrition goals. You guys, fitness and nutrition has been a passion of mine since I discovered it after I had my 4th child in 4 years. If you've been around, I was a working personal trainer for a very long time. And I walked through my own fitness journey, and then I walked through another fitness journey with leaving my job as a personal trainer, a little bit of an identity crisis there, when my workouts were no longer to be like an example to my, to other women, and I changed up the way I worked out, at home. And so I've navigated lots of different things. And as I get older, I'm still doing all the things because I enjoy intensity and I need it. But I do recognize, that as I get older, there are certain things that are a little bit different. And even if I am continuing to do the same thing I've always done, my body is responding differently because my mid-30s, late 30s body is different than my 20s body. And so it's just different, you know? And so I've walked through many seasons of fitness and nutrition, and right now where I've landed, I feel very good about. I feel a peace, and I feel very good. So I want to continue with that. Running is something that I always get away from and then come back to, and then get away from and come back to. Because running is not the most gentle form of exercise on the body, and again, resting, right? So workouts can also be stressful, and I'm an advocate for intensity, but it does need to be balanced. So I kind of, when I need to scale it back a little bit, I'll take out the running. But running is what clears my head and my anxiety like nothing. And so I always go back to it because I feel so much better when I'm running a few days. So I'm going to be going, incorporating more running back into my workout programming, and seeing how I feel with that. And then the last goal that I have, that's a broad picture 2023 goal, is always, the Lord is challenging me in so many different ways, some of which I keep private to myself. But one thing that I am going to share with you guys, because it's going to hold me accountable that I spoke it out, is I really feel the Lord calling me to lean into hosting and opening my home up more, not always talking myself out of it. If any of you can relate to this, I love having people come over to my home. I work really hard to maintain my home being a clean, welcoming environment. I love hanging out with friends and family. But I often will talk myself out of it, thinking like, oh, it's too last minute, or, oh, maybe they're busy, or, oh, the last time I saw them, they seemed a little tired. And so, I don't want to add more to their plate, or, whatever. But this year I am going to lean into that, because I don't ever think that our homes are meant to just be these like pristine museums. What's the point of having a nice, welcoming space if you never have people come over? And we have people come over, but I just want to get better about it. I do have a little bit more time to do it now that some things in my kids' lives have changed, because that kept us, basically running on fumes. And so now that that has changed, I want to lean into this area, and I feel the Lord challenging me to do it. So I'm not saying like every single month, because that's probably not realistic, but I just want to be ready and willing and open to opening up my home and having family dinners, or I want to do a favorite things party for women, and like everyone can invite a friend, so it could be a chance to meet some new people. I feel the Lord challenging me in that area. So we'll see what happens with my hosting. I enjoy it, but I also recognize in myself that I want everything to be a certain way. And that like stressful overload of everything needing to be a certain way, not perfect, but to my standards, can sometimes prevent me from doing it, because I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time. It'd just be better if I, kept it simple, So I'm trying to challenge myself in that area, and I will be reporting back with that. So those are my broad stroke goals for 2023. Like I said, am giving myself permission to add on to that as I feel the Spirit leading me. And I will be back each month to share with you guys like the more practical side of my goal setting, which is always really, really simple. It's like actual things, like plan my daughter's birthday party, which is kind of why I got away from sharing those monthly goal videos, because I thought they weren't like visionary or these super things. They were just really applicable things. And so I will share with you guys what I have down for January. The first thing is I would like to have my bedroom painted. It still just has the flat builder paint and it is wearing. So if you guys watch and you remember 2 summers ago, we painted our whole upstairs schoolroom. We're gonna go with that same gray color. It just needs like a fresh coat of paint in here. So that's my goal. I am wanting to get my house back in tip-top organizational shape after the holidays. Sure, a lot of you guys can relate to that. Financial goals, I have some in January because taxes are ahead, and being a self-employed person, taxes. So yeah, I need to start working on that. So that is a goal that I have. And then just leaning into disciplines. After the holidays, it's like such a season of sugar and excess, and although I'm very consistent with exercise all the time, you know, I just feel like I want to lean into my disciplines of sleeping and eating and nutrition, and for my kids too, you know, so kind of reining it in a bit in all of the areas is a goal that I am focused on in January. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to know if you relate to any of my goals for the year, anything, just share your thoughts with me down below. If you're excited about my goals videos coming back, I would love to hear from you too. Make sure you check out the link to Skillshare. That will be down below, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye, friends.
Days without water, along the sun so bright.